Welcome back to comprehension reading session. As usual, we start with the option. Based on the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. So what are the assumptions they are saying? Development of agricultural technology is confined to developed countries. So agriculture technology in developed countries. Agriculture technology is not adopted in developing countries. So agriculture again developing countries. Okay. Then in second question they are talking about based on the above passage the following assumptions have been made. Poor countries need to bring about change in their existing farming techniques. Poor countries existing farming techniques. Developed countries have better infrastructure and they waste less food. So again here it is like better infrastructure developed countries. What are the assumptions can be made? So there are third question also. Based on the above passage, the following assumptions have been made. Growing enough food for future generations will be a challenge. Food growth and future generation. Corporate farming is a viable option for food security in poor countries. So they have given some keywords. So after reading three options, we will be able to well understand the passage. So here they are talking about technology, food security, developed countries, poor countries. So we will see all these things. Passage goes like this, and this is a very good passage because it is going to fetch you 3 questions, that is 3 into 2.5 marks. So yeah. So in some places in the world, the productivity of staples such as rice and wheat has reached a plateau. So it used to be in plains, right? Now it has reached a plateau is what they are saying. Neither new strains nor fancy agrochemicals are rising the yield. So yield also it is not rising because of anything, even by chemicals or by any fancy things, right? Nor is there much unfarmed land left that is suitable to be brought under the plow. So land is also not that much good wherever we can go and plow also, right? If global temperature continues to rise, some places will become unsuitable for farming. So because of global warming, it might become unsuitable in later phases also. Application of technology can help overcome these problems. So they were saying about problems now. Then now it is about solution is technology they are saying. Agriculture technology is changing fast. Much of this change is brought about by affluent farmers. But this change brought by whom? Affluent farmers in the West Americas. It is bought by West American affluent farmers. They are also not poor farmers, okay? Techniques developed in the West are being adopted in some places to make tropical crops more productive. So some countries in like who are adapting, they are also bringing out the changes, okay? Technology is of little use if it is not adopted. So what they are saying, some of them are adopting. If it is not adopted, then it is nowhere useful, right? Because it is not adopted. In the developing world, that applies as much to existing farming techniques as it does to the latest advance in genetic modification. In developing countries also, it applies for both existing farming technique and genetic modification. Okay, extending to the smallholder and subsistence farmers of Africa and Asia, the best of today's agricultural practice is such simple matter as how much fertilizer to apply and when would lead to greatly increased productivity of food for humanity. So in Asia and Africa countries, extending is very easy because you don't need to give very great technology. Here if you can say when to put, how much to put the fertilizer and other stuffs will be sufficient is what they are saying. So would things like better roads and storage facilities to allow for the carriage of surplus to market and reduce wastage, and also like some storage and transportation also, if it is good, that is sufficient. They were talking about there are problems in farming because of even global warming and other things. So land is also less now because already degraded everything. Then in West they are trying for technology, which is very good. Technology has to be used in the other countries also. Some of them are adopting. Third thing they were talking about in Asia and Africa, no, Big technology is not required, but small changes that can be like storage, road, transportation, and when to apply fertilizer. This much is sufficient for increasing the food security. So that is what a points. Okay. Now we see the options. Based on the above passage, what can we assume? Development of agriculture technology is confined to developed countries. They didn't say this, it is confined to. They are developing. They didn't say like it will be confined only to them. No. Then agriculture technology is not adopted in developing countries. They didn't even say like it is not adopted. What is required, they said. So these two according to me is wrong. So the answer might become option D, neither one nor two. Now we will see the second question. Again it was on assumption only, right? So poor countries need to bring about change in their existing farming techniques. Of course they have to bring, that's what they are saying. Fertilizers and all, when to apply those things and all, if you can bring, it is good. So this might be correct. Developed countries have better infrastructure. Infrastructure, who spoke about it? No one. So I will go with option A. Then based on, again it is also assumption, growing enough food for future generation will be a challenge. So yeah, it's a challenge because of global warming and all. Corporate farming is viable solution. Who spoke about corporate farming? So this is wrong. Only one is correct. That's all for today.